So, greetings, everybody. My name is Al Mina. Uh, Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whatever part of the world you're currently listening to my quick, video blog. And I apologize, I haven't been doing a whole lot of my podcast lately. I've just kind of been inundated with various projects that I kind of, put in the back burner. So I'm now kind of, doing my catch up and getting them all taken care of. But with this said, I thought I'd reflect on what's been happening in U.S. politics, mainly, what took place over the weekend, where a former president, Mr. Trump, was almost killed off, and there was an attempted assassination at one of Mr. Trump's rally, which, really kind of makes me wonder, are we really moving forward as a country? Have we really gotten over these kinds of violent tendencies regarding political opinions, views, and things that can amicably be solved if we just take time and kind of reflect on what's happening within our political system and government. There is no need for violence to take place anywhere within our political system and process. As you all know, 4 years ago, I ran for office as an independent candidate, a no-name candidate, and I was still basically harassed and followed, and I didn't know if the guy was going to attack me. But I actually posted it on my YouTube channel just to kind of raise awareness about these polarization and various unproductive and undemocratic attitudes and behavior by people within our country. I mean, look at what's happening now between the Democrats and the Republicans. Okay, they're fighting, constantly banging heads, and they're not even considering those that are marginalized in our country, those people that don't have a voice, don't have a way for them to express their concerns. And yet, these people that are at the top echelon of the elite population and elite political, communities in our country are constantly fighting over, who gets to exert their authority on the population, basically have continuous power over you know our country and a dominant power. But yet none of them really cares about those people that aren't even powerful for their decades upon decades, even at the very onset, the exception, the beginning of our country. There's been those marginalized population, the individuals that no matter how hard they work and no matter how consistent they are with developing their capacity and educating themselves and bettering themselves, are still not given access to opportunities and to reach their full potential, unfortunately, in America still. And yet there are these people fighting constantly, day in, day out, taking out millions and millions of dollars worth of funds so that they can mudsling and attack their opponents. Okay, and there are people in America that are voiceless. They're simply not even considered a part of the country and are, contributors to our society. So imagine the kind of individualism, those people looking to acquire power or retain power. Look at, think about their character of these people, those that continuously oppress and marginalize those people that are voiceless, people that simply don't have access to power in our society. I mean, is that really the country that we're trying to bring back or preserve and even, call great? How great is a country when you have people that are voiceless? How great is a country when you have a lot of people that are marginalized? How great is a country uh, when there are people that are constantly being abused, oppressed, and not given the opportunity and privileges as any other citizen? of a country. They're not protected. Their voices aren't heard. Mainstream media won't cover them. I mean, is that really a great country? That doesn't sound like a really great country to me. Sounds like, one of those places in third world countries around the world, and oppressive societies where, the marginalized are constantly being, oppressed and taken advantage of, and their needs and wants aren't being met. So, and yet there are people out there that become so adamant about gaining power, about, their, political ideologies being, promoted, and yet they're not even considering those people that don't have any power, that aren't even seen as a part of our society. So think about the kind of, country that is really being developed and architected so that, they can call themselves, you know leaders. To me, leadership is not all about, popularism. It's about doing the right thing. It's doing, you know um, service to everyone, supporting, developing capacity for every citizen in our country. That's leadership. Giving people a venue to be heard. That's leadership. Okay, making tough calls in order for, those that needs support and assistance can be provided for. That's what you call leadership, not, those selfish, individualistic tendencies of the corrupt, where it's only their way and their way alone. That's, not how a society, a democratic society, not even a representative society, is supposed to be. Regardless if you're a Democrat, Republican, or Independent. Think about what I'm saying, and stop and reflect on some of these things, because, millions and millions of dollars have been spent to campaign in our country, but very few people have even utilized those millions and millions of dollars to, help equal the playing field, to bring, lift all boats, to, so that everybody can get access to, opportunities, access to, their full potential, as an individual, right? So these are the things that aren't really talked about in, the lip service, that some of these major politicians, and that, and their parties are cranking out there, and trying to convince the population that they know the way and they're going to be leading. When you want to lead, why are you cherry picking who it is that you want to lead in service and include in a society, in a community that, we're supposed to be all equal. We're supposed to all, be Americans first and foremost. But yet, there's quite a bit of ideologies between the Republican and Democratic Party that is isolating a lot of people that simply, they don't feel is deserving, to be a part of the American fabric, which is, extremely problematic. It's when you have two, political party and their ideologies that are consistently banging heads, but yet they regularly forget about, the small guys, the less vocal, the less powerful, the, basically marginalized, and aren't, given the same privileges and equal opportunities, to succeed in the marketplace and in the country. With this said, folks, I just thought I'd, talk a little bit about the overall situation in our election, season in the year 2024, because not only are people becoming very violent, they're basically, divorcing themselves away from the value system that we thought created our society. Fairness, rule of law, freedom of speech, democratic process, things that we thought we were supporting as Americans. they're extremely moving away from it. Matter of fact, they're also oppressing, dissent, and they're making sure that people that would like to express their, concerns and opinions and views on social media aren't being heard or aren't being, um, you know, given the platform to be able to utilize, um, so that they can share their thoughts and opinions. Okay. Um, but yet, there are people that are willing to destroy other people's lives and people, hurt other people, attack other people over political ideologies. So we're definitely misguided on a lot of things when it comes to our politics in America, because we're focusing on things that are very minor. We're majoring in on minor things when the major things are what we need to focus in on. Okay, folks. With this said, my name is Almina. Thank you for listening and watching my video blog, and I promise that eventually I will start my podcast again on Spotify and all the podcasting channels that are available in the U.S. market and also overseas. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Take care. Bye bye.